I want to do my makeup and be pretty because I'm a girl and that's what girls do. So let's get started. I'm not 100% sure what type of look I'm going for today. I just know that I want it to be that girl. I want this makeup to last a really long time because I'm going to be taking pictures today. So I'm going to use the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. Oh my gosh, no, I'm running out. So I just mixed two foundations together. It was the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation with the Makeup Revolution XX, and it's in the shade 16.5. Don't be afraid to put that foundation on because that's what's gonna give you that flawless base. Literally, like Uche said, everyone's just doing a dot of foundation expecting to get that full glam look. You're not gonna get it. Apply more product. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I learned this tip from Uche to put your bronzer on before you highlight, and since I started doing this, I've seen a massive improvement in my makeup. And I find that when you do it this way, you don't go too crazy on the highlight concealer. And now to blend out, I'm just going to start off with my forehead because I don't want too much product on the brush. When I blend out my product, I like to do it in like a stippling motion just to stay in the same place because you don't want the product to move too much. Whatever product I've applied, I like to pull it up in an upwards direction. Now with my brush, I'm taking it in this direction. I like to do it like this because it just diffuses it up into my under eye. So I'm just gonna go like this in an upwards motion, pushing into my cheek and going up. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. Now with my nose, I take this part of the brush and I just stipple into the same area like this. And then whatever's left, I just like to take it over my eyelid just to give me that extra bronze. Now for the nose contour, I'm taking a smaller brush, more detailed fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna pack that product in. Now you see the difference when you do your bronzer first, because now that I've got dimension in my face, I don't feel like I need to add too much highlight concealer because I've already got something going on. For concealer today, I'm going to go with the Small But Mighty EX1 concealer. I feel like this is so slept on. If you can access it wherever you are, definitely try it out because it is full coverage. I've got it in the shade 14. I like this shade because it's not too yellow. I'm just going to apply that directly under my eye like this. Then I'm going to add a bit of highlight on the tip of my nose and down the bridge. I like to set my face in between layers, so I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution Super Fix. If you're a makeup girly and you don't have one of these, get you one of these. Now I'm taking this brush from the Munch collection. I'm taking this brush from the Munch collection. I've got it in my TikTok shop. Just starting off with my chin. I like to use the smaller side because it's a bit more precise and doesn't move the product around too much. I'm gonna blend the tip of my nose. Now for my under eye, I always like to start off with the edge and then work my way in. Do you see any lines? No, because we blended. And the exact same on the other side. Start with the outer corner and then work your way in. And the key is to keep dabbing in the same place to diffuse the product and also to keep the coverage. For just a tiny, when I say a tiny, I mean a tiny, teensy little bit of brightness, I'm adding the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer just on the inner corner of my eyes. Just like that. Just like that. Don't go overboard. Just like that and it. You see that? Very demure, very mindful. Now we're gonna take our setting spray again and we're gonna do another layer, wait for this to dry, and then we're gonna keep going. Now with a small fluffy brush, I like to use a fluffy brush because I feel like it diffuses the color a little bit more. I'm just gonna pat in the same location. It looks a little bit crazy, but watch when we blend and we blend. Oh, look at that. Isn't that just stunning? I love a bright under eye. Okay, and now doing the same on the other side, just patting in the same location just to keep the placement. When they say beat your face, they mean metaphorically. Use a light hand, be gentle, okay? Now to set my face, I'm taking the True Brow setting powder. I love this powder down. If you want to look like you have a filter on, you need this powder. I'm taking it on a fluffy brush. I'm just going to pat the product into my skin just to make sure it's all secure in place before I go in with more product. This powder just gives you such an airbrush look. It's impossible to go overboard with this powder. Now I'm taking my powder puff and I'm gonna press all of that in under the eye like this, just to make sure that my under eye is properly set and that it's not going nowhere. And I like to add a little bit of scaffolding to the nose bridge that I just built, you know, just to give her a little bit of support because she's new here. Now I'm going to set other areas of my face, on my chin, under my lip. I personally like to set my eyebrows because I don't like a shiny brow look, so I just go over and set my eyebrows and my lid and anywhere else. We're not baking exactly, but we're just letting a little bit of the powder sit for a while just to set in place. And while that's setting, I'm going to take my Juvia's Place bronzer. I've hit pan, like I really need to get a new one, but I'm taking the more ready tone and I'm just gonna dab that in between where my bronzer is and my highlight, just to diffuse any lines and add more warmth into my skin. Also like to put some on my forehead as well, on the side of my nose bridge. Now I take a little brush like this and I just pat away any powders just for a little bit more coverage. I'm taking the Made by Mitchell Firelight. I think I'm going to take the shade Inferno, which is this one here. And I'm just going to push that right into the side of my nose bridge, just in a patting motion, just for a little bit more coverage. And going back in with the bronzer, just to diffuse any harsh lines. We're going to do another layer of the Superfix. When your setting spray is drying, do this face so that you don't get creases under your eyes. What did Beyonce say? She said, it should cost $1 billion to look this good. Looking like easy because she got it. Chip by tip. Now for lips, standard procedure, I'm taking the MAC Chestnut. And for the center of my lips, I'm taking the NYX lip cream. I think this is in the shade London. It says London on the bottom, so I'm thinking that's the shade. But I've had this for so long, I don't know. I like to set my lip line with a powder. So I'm taking the Juvia's Place bronzer in the darker shade and just going on the outline. I just feel like that adds more definition to the lip. And now I'm just gonna add a little bit of highlight to the tip of my nose and on the bridge. Now I'm gonna add some fake moles just to make the look a little bit more, I was gonna say natural, but it's not gonna give natural. A little bit of bottom lash mascara. I'm taking the Guava Gold Shimmering Oil to add to my shoulders and chest, just for a bit of shine. And this is the finished look. I don't even know what to call this. This is just an it girl makeup. Something simple, something full, soft, but still glam. Soft glam. Period. Thanks so much for watching, babes. I hope you loved this soft glam look as much as I did. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and TikTok at shauna.kai for more content. Here's to letting our light shine, because God says so. Bye.